Hello there everyone, this is Sawyer Sable here, back again. This is episode 2 of Sawyer Breaks It Down. Yes, this will be another video on that. And by the way, Sawyer Breaks It Down, I'm going to have initials now. It's going to stand for SBID, just for future reference. That will be Sawyer Breaks It Down's initials. So back to the topic. So there was some recent news that has been coming out about the Oscars, and which I think is a great idea of what they've been doing. They're going to be changing their whole schedule and how they do stuff. Like they're cutting some stuff down to cut the limit of the show so it isn't that long. And they're gonna be adding a new category, which has spurred up a lot of topic and discussion in the community of not just like fans of film and all, but also actors and producers and all kinds of stuff. So basically this is the big talk of the town in the movie industry and just in Hollywood and all, after the past few weeks of the media and all that in the industry talking about the James Gunn situation and everything that happened there. I think Disney and Marvel are pretty happy that now everyone's starting to focus on other stuff, because it was getting pretty heated on what happened with that situation. And now everyone's talking about the big Oscar changes and all. As you'll soon see, people are really passionate about their side of the debate. As you see here, you have articles from people like Entertainment Weekly, and then you have articles from Los Angeles Times, and there's more like Hollywood Reporter that are talking about this change. And you have a lot of people like Rob Lowe. I really like this actor. He's great and all. He's just one of the many that are giving their opinions on this, especially the popular category that they're in. Same with this guy, Mark, who's one of the people I'm assuming like John, who are giving their opinions, and they really do not like this new category. It's really controversial. And now we get to the John Campea part of the video. Yeah, like when I first saw his tweet about it, I was thinking of maybe doing a video to give my opinion on it, but after seeing his video, I'm like, yeah, I should, definitely. Now, going into this, before I say anything, I just want to put it out here. I really like John Campea. This is not an attack at all. If any of his fans somehow see this video, because I mean, I'm not that big, but if anyone that likes him sees this video, or anyone in general sees this video, do not think I'm attacking him at all. Not at all. He's one of my favorite YouTube people that I watch. I think he does great discussions and all, like with his John Campea show. I tune into that every day. I really like it. And I disagree with some stuff he says, but overall, we have a similar opinion on stuff that he discusses. He makes some great points. But everything that he said about this Oscar thing, for the most part, I agreed with, except for the most popular category. Now, I'll delve into who John Campea is and his show and all before I get into the juicy stuff there. So, John Campea, as you can see here, he's one of those people that covers the movie industry and stuff. He bumped around from working at Collider, AMC, and all kinds of stuff. But recently, he decided to do his own YouTube channel, which I respect a lot, to have his own freedom, creative freedom and all. And he started his show, The John Campea Show, which, as I mentioned, I really like. So here's the video in question that this discussion will be about when he talks about the Oscar stuff and all. And this is what usually his thumbnails would look like when it's, you know, John Campea Show, and then he puts the most topic-worthy stuff there. And he did mention that the Oscar stuff broke just a few minutes before, so he went into like he did mention that it was a bit of an out of order. If he had more time to discuss it, he'll have more thoughts on the matter later. But this is basically what one of his videos looked like, and here's what he does is a little highlight. So this is the actual video. It's 12 minutes if you guys want to go check it out. Overall, I thought it was a well-made video and all. And here's usually what it is. It's him in front of his background here, and he gives his points on various topics in the industry. But yeah, with all that out of the way, I completely disagree with how he views his topic on the best popular film category, basically, where he has the belief that them adding this category is basically like like he says it in his video, and that this is basically not an actual Oscar win. Even though it is an Oscar and it would be an Oscar category, it's technically not a real Oscar win, since they're just adding it in now for a lot of reasons. I have some theories on why they added it, but I'll get to that in a minute. And he basically compares it to like the anime category, where he thinks that should not be a thing. He says it in his video. And he says that if the anime films were good enough, they would be nominated for the Best Picture stuff. And just every year, which he does make a good point, how like every year, there isn't enough good anime films that come out every year to warrant its own category. Hence this past one, The Boss Baby, was nominated, and so is Ferdinand. So clearly he did make some good points on that. But let me just talk about the anime thing really quick because I'm really passionate about it. I love animation. I love animated films, particularly the Disney and Pixar ones in particular. But there are some great ones from DreamWorks as well, like Prince of Egypt or the How to Train Your Dragon films, and so on. And each year, when you see them come out, and you see films that are truly spectacular, that critics and audiences just adore. It's one of the best reviewed and one of the most talked about movies of each year. Like, for example, you have an Inside Out, you have a Zootopia. As you see here, Rotten Tomatoes, which is the site I usually prefer to go to critic-wise, not audience-wise. I'll get to that in a sec. But as you see, Inside Out, one of the best reviewed films of that year with a 98 certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics overall love the film. And as you see, CinemaScore, which is the true thing that I recommend to use, and John even says it himself, this is his thing that he likes to use audience-wise since it's verified, because they actually poll people when they're leaving the theater, so it isn't just random voting on some site. So this is an A. It got an A, one of the best. And then you have Zootopia here, which is one of my all-time favorite films. Best animated film, in my opinion. Again, a 98. And critics loved it that year. It's one of the best reviewed. And then also an A CinemaScore, which is one of the highest. The only thing above that is an A+, which very few films rarely have. So for it to have that as an achievement. You have the original How to Train Your Dragon. You have a Ratatouille, a WALL-E, a Up. Would you look at that, a 98 again? So I didn't even know it had that high of a score as well. That says how great these films are, these animation films. And for them to constantly be snubbed, like look, a 91. Like critics overall are loving these films, which are the people that are voting for them as well at the Oscars. And even the audiences, look, 2 more A's. All these films have had A's and over 90 above scores on Rotten Tomatoes. What more do you need to see here? And like all these films get great recognition. Everyone loves them and they make tons of money, and they are the best reviewed by critics by far. Like, he even brought up that's why they even made that category in the first place, because of the Disney Renaissance, how each film was the best rated, best reviewed, best profitable, all that kinds of stuff. And they kept still denying them because it's pretty clear at this point that people, like some people, like a big majority of people in the industry, especially when voting at all, don't really favor animated films as much as these other films. And I find that kind of sad because I know there's like a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put into each of these films. Same with their films too, but I just wish that the animated ones would get more recognition when it comes to those Best Picture. And it is kind of sad that there has to be a separate category created for that, but I think it should still be there to give those films recognition. Same with the most popular films, because he even brought up how these great films and how they're gonna be step closer and closer, like Logan, how it was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. That was excellent. I thought it should have won too, but to be nominated is still an achievement. And he says that this would be a step back, when I think this would be pretty good as well, since it would be an Oscar category. You can recognize these films for their achievement in these big blockbuster films. And plus, there's the added benefit on the majority of people. The reason why the Oscar ratings are tuning down, because recently it's at its lowest in decades at 26 million. And the reason why they're tuning down is because people don't care about the movies that are being nominated for the bigger categories like Best Picture and all. So why not have a Best Popular category to lure those people in so that you can get your ratings back up? It seems like a win-win situation here. But a lot of people have this, like John Campea, have this belief, and I respect him for that. I mean, I can understand that belief too, but they have the belief that that would be a stain as like film as an art. And I love film, like clearly. I may love the bigger ones more than the small artsy ones, but the smaller films I really love too. Like there's this one, where is it? Edge of 17, right? Made like no money at the box office. No one really talked about it either. Fantastic film. This is one of my all-time favorite films. And I thought this would be an Oscar contender. It's one of my all-time favorites. I thought it was great, and it is one of those big blockbuster ones either. So I too can like smaller indie films, like The Disaster Artist. That was my favorite film. That was like one of my favorite films the past year, if you want to see my ranking video. So I understand the notion about what they're all going at, but just them saying how it's a step backwards and all for film as an art form, I find pretty ridiculous, if I'm honest with you. And I think that this is good progress as a whole for not only the ratings to go back up, for people's interest to go back in, because it's nice if if they think in their opinions that those films that are nominated each year are worthy. That's great. But me and a lot of other people, 1000%, we disagree. The only films that I usually, like the past 2 years, the films that I agreed deserve to be nominated was Dunkirk for this past year, and then Hacksaw Ridge for the year previous. Just the war films I agree with. Every other film that's been nominated these past 2 years, I completely disagree with. The year before, though, with Spotlight, when that one, I completely agree. That was the only one I liked, though, that was nominated. So it's kind of like, they don't really nominate the films that everyone would agree on, just themselves. And to be fair, the films that they are nominated, people aren't able to see, because mostly they're in limited release around the time it happens, so there isn't really a way to see it. So I think this is a great idea to add this category, and I think people are overreacting a tiny bit at the situation. But back now that I have that entire stuff out of the way, I do think it's a great idea. Me and John Campea both agreed, and a lot of people overall agree that it's a good idea to cut some of these other, like, short documentary and short, you know, all that kind of stuff, those mini categories out. They'll still be, like, recognized and all, but during commercial breaks they'll award them all, and then they'll show, like, runner-ups of the awards and all, like, near the end of the show and all, to keep the runtime shorter. I think that's a great idea. So overall, it was, I really like the changes that the Oscars are going to be doing and all, and I respect John Campea. I love what he does. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I think he's great, but I disagree with him on this, and I see an overwhelming majority agree with his side, which is cool and all. I just wanted to maybe get my opinion out there, since not a lot of people are able to really have that not a lot of people have that opinion, is what I'm trying to say. And I just wanted to get my voice out there, even though it may not be as big of a voice as all these other people, but hopefully it'll start a discussion. And yeah, thank you all for watching. This is just my thoughts, basically. If you guys want to comment below, I would really love to discuss your guys' comments. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. Hit the bell as well, so that when I get a video, you'll get the notification. And thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.